Hello and welcome to The One Show with Alex Jones.
And joining me tonight, because Matt is up to his neck in lambing season, it's Anita.
Thank you.
Lovely to see you.
So good.
So nice.
Now, on the show tonight, we've got two guests with us, one of whom is a film composer, so let's introduce both using some of his music.
So tonight, we are pleased to present the cinematic maestro who's written the soundtracks to over 100 Hollywood films. He's won 2 Golden Globes, 4 Grammys, and he's an Oscar winner.
Sharing the sofa is a comedian and West Bromwich Albion fan. He can play the banjo, and in 1998, he won the Rear of the Year Award.
Yes. Please welcome Hans Zimmer
and Frank Skinner.
Zimmer, Skinner.
Yes.
Yeah, it's got to get confusing, isn't it?
Yeah. Now, Hans, you've written the scores to countless numbers of films. Pirates of the Caribbean, Gladiator, Thelma and Louise, basically everyone I could think of.
Yes.
And
literally.
I do write for banjo.
You do write for
I actually play ukulele. I don't play banjo.
Oh.
You made the biggest mistake of all.
It's the ukulele.
You write for ukulele?
Yeah, have done.
Good man.
There you are.
I have a favourite, though.
Yeah.
My favourite was the soundtrack to True Romance. It was this.
It's a beautiful song.
So cool. It's absolutely... Everyone's got a favourite.
You're so cool.
You're so cool. Have you got a favourite?
Oh, Gladiator. I love Lisa Gerrard, and her voice honestly does
brilliant.
things to me.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful, that song.
No, she is amazing.
Well, we are going to talk about Gladiator a bit later, but how could we not mention the heat is on, the time is right, going for gold! This is fantastic. Everybody at home, everyone's singing along. It will take us back to that lunchtime when we all used to watch it. Because you did this, Hans.
I absolutely did. I have no shame about doing this.
I'm assuming that's...
No, actually, honestly.
It's great, yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, but it was a bit of a... Like, the first time I got to Los Angeles, and one of the first people I met was this chap who wrote all of the Michael Jackson albums, Thriller, etc. And, of course, what was he going to do? Sing Going for Gold to me. So, you know, like, you know...
It's catchy.
We've been doing them all day.
Oh.
Yeah, we have.
No, it's all right.
Henry Kelly saying... He used to say stuff like, I arrived in Ireland, in London in the 15th century on the back of a rat. What am I? I'm the bubonic plague.
What am I? Well, later in the show, Hans will be performing one of his classic film scores. We're very excited about that.
And from music, we are to art. We'll hear all about Frank's search for Britain. Incredible.
Yeah, brilliant piece of technology, isn't it? Thank you, Sophie, as well, for that.
Now, Frank, you're here to appeal to the One Show viewers. Anyone with an artistic talent about... So tell us about the Sky Arts Landscape and Portrait Artist Competition of the Year.
Yes, I do a show on Sky Arts. I co-host it with Dame Joan Bakewell and my hero. And it's people, members of the public, send in their art. And there's 2 branches for portrait artists and landscape artists. And it's a show I'm phenomenally proud of. I'd watch it if I wasn't on it.
Yes. Yeah.
Definitely.
It's
Thanks for that. Thanks for agreeing with that.
Yeah.
No, it's Matt's
It's a
favourite
good show.
programme, literally.
It's a really beautiful programme, and watching people paint is a fantastic... Because you can go to art galleries and see the finished item, but to see it happening... It'd be like watching Hans composing, you know.
Yeah, really.
It's really, really exciting. And we got the portrait artist show, and the entrance... It closes the entrance date on the 4th of April and the landscape one on the 15th of April. And we just want loads... Imagine how much talent there'll be watching this show now. What do you get, 12, 15 million?
At least.
Something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's a Tuesday, you know. People seriously, there are people out there now, please, I just want them to enter, because the more people that enter, the better the show. And it's a fantastic, life-changing experience.
What do they win?
Yeah, because...
Well, they usually get an enormous commission to paint someone. So, I mean, the first one painted Hilary Mantel, for example. The art. Christian Hook went, was our last portrait winner, went to New York, painted Alan Cumming.
There he is. That's who we think.
But the painting, there's a guy who's one of the directors of the National Gallery in Scotland, brought out a book of the 100 masterpieces in Scottish galleries, and there weren't many modern ones. And Christian's painting of Alan Cumming is in that book. And he now, and it's not about money, but he's doing paintings and getting about 75 grand.
Because it's a prestigious competition, isn't it? You know, he's got.
That's more than we're getting tonight, Hans.
You'll find out. You're finding genuine talent as well. But painting a landscape is one thing. But painting a portrait, people can answer back, can't they?
Well, they get to choose one. See, so say if 5 people line up and paint a celebrity. I mean, we've had like Ian McKellen on and all sorts of people. And then there's a moment where I say, please turn your canvases, and they turn it round, and then you see the face of the person. And they do their best to hide, you know, horror, disappointment, rage. But you can see it. It's the corners of the mouth.
Yeah.
But even whilst they're having the painting done of them, they can answer back. Have a look at this.
They can come round and have a look. This was a 4-hour competition to draw a bowl of apples. Your method would be exactly the same as drawing Sharon.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty much the same process. You're just sitting down and painting them, really. Yeah.
I've never been compared to a bowl of apples before.
The apples are slightly more straightforward in that they don't move, they don't smile, they don't frown, they don't, you know, so it's
They don't flirt.
yeah, that's true, yeah, from my experience.
You stay out of this, Sharon.
It's brilliant.
Yeah. If you need somebody to sit, I'm available.
What? You'd be great.
I'd love that.
Fantastic.
But they always
You have
say...
to be quiet, though. Do you have to be silent?
No, you can talk as long as you don't move your lips.
And you were in the paper having painted a landscape yourself.
Yeah, well, I live near Hampstead College of Art, so they were having a big open day. And they said, would you do a landscape? And I said, look, I can't paint. And they said, well, that's great, because it's all about just everyone joining in, you know. So I thought, well, in the spirit of that, yes, I will. So I went and I painted a landscape painting of sorts.
Yeah, we've got it here, actually. It's actually brilliant.
Is this the painting you painted, Frank?
Well, I'll tell you what happened. This was on the cover of the Camden Journal, and my painting was, I thought, OK. They have actually photoshopped in a better painting.
Well,
that is my hand.
Yeah, we've got the original.
original.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
It's all right.
It's not terrible.
I would
No,
say that
it's
was in the naive style.
It is in the School of Infantile Art, as Tony Yeah. I know it looks like a pancake in a field, but at least it's mine. I mean, I thought...
It's beautiful.
So I don't know who painted the one on the cover of the paper, but I apologise if you're watching.
Well, they should enter, shouldn't they, really?
Yeah.
They should. That would be great.
enter.
I think I should. I mean, I've taken a couple of commissions on the strength of that painting.
Well, the Sky Arts Portrait and Landscape Artist of the Year competition is open now. Details are all on the Sky Artist of the Year website.
Now, Frank, apparently you first discovered your love for making people laugh by drawing moustaches on people in art class.
Hang on a minute.
It's a tradition that's died out.
So, we've got hands.
There you go.
We've got, who's that? Me.
Yes.
And we've got Anita. Fill your boots.
There you go.
Oh, you OK with this?
Yes. Please, go for it. So let's see some real
Have you got a grey one
being
for
created.
hands?
No.
It's OK.
In the meantime, Joe has travelled all the way to Gdansk in Poland to see how extraordinary team of artists are creating a movie about one of the world's most famous painters.
The remarkable artist Vincent van Gogh said, "The truth is we cannot speak other than by our paintings."
He was an expressionist, a struggling artist who famously cut off his ear in torment. But now his paintings are some of the most sought after in the world.
And that distinct painting style is going to be used to help create a work about his life.
Which is why I've come here to Gdansk in Poland, where artists from across Europe have been called upon to create the first ever painted animated film.
There have been painted short films before, but never something feature-length. It's the brainchild of Polish painter and director Dorota Kobiela and British director Hugh Welshman, who won an Oscar for Best Animated Short Film in 2007.
Dorota was reading the letters of Vincent van Gogh and thought his story was a beautiful story and that she wanted to bring his paintings to life. Loving Vincent is a co-production between Poland and the UK. Most of the live-action shooting took place in 3 Mills studios in East London. We shoot the actors on a green screen stage so that we can cut them out and composite them together with Vincent-style backgrounds in the computer. And then we project it onto the canvases for it to be painted over frame by frame.
Use your initiative, son. An important man like Mr. Theo van Gogh Ask around. But what do I say?
In total, we have 85 painters, and they will go through 3,000 litres of paint to paint the 62,450 frames in this film. We had to create a whole team from scratch. We couldn't find animators who had the skills for doing the painting we needed, so instead we had to get painters and teach them enough animation to be able to do this film.
And one of those artists is Polish-born Piotr Dominiak. So talk me through what you've got here.
On the right, we've got prepared image. We project this image onto this canvas.
That's your guide, and then for every frame and every different movement, what happens?
Projector automatically projects another frame in the row. So that would be my next frame to paint. I will have to scrape off those pieces of shoulders, replace eyes, nose, and paint them in a proper place.
How long would it take you to get to the next frame?
With one character and with a plain background, it's about an hour and 30 minutes.
Why do you find that so hard to believe?
Now, rather bravely, they've allowed me to have a go. Start dabbing. Not too much, okay. But when I look at your piece, I can see quite confident brushstrokes.
That comes with experience. Try to connect the highlights with the previous color.
Is this going to be part of the film, or are you just going to get rid of this once I've gone?
It depends on the rest of the frame.
He's going to cut me out.
We are not copying Vincent's painting. We are reimagining them into the medium of film. And currently we're about halfway through.
The film is set to be finished in August and has attracted a wealth of talent. The cast includes Aidan Turner, Saoirse Ronan and Douglas Booth.
What did that nobody ever do for us? Making my
In this
family...
age of apps and filters on photos, couldn't you have just done all this on the computer?
Several people have said to me, oh, we could do what you're doing in the computer. And I always just say, show me. People can see that there's a difference, and there's something magical about seeing the oil paints move before your eyes. Vincent had a complete breakdown after failing at 3 careers, and at the age of 28 he starts drawing for the first time. That within 9 years he transformed modern art, and it's just an amazing story. And I'm sure I will convert many more people to Vincent with this film.
Oh, lovely style.
I feel like I need to applaud that film.
Yeah, we go and see that.
Absolutely beautiful.
Go on then, Frank.
From Van Gogh
How's the
to...
moustache
Oh,
coming?
yes. Actually, that looks like me before I've shaved.
Giving you sort of
Very good. Like
the Fu Manchu for Hans is dying off.
Yeah, need to do it.
I actually think it really suits you, Alec.
Yeah.
Conchita, isn't it?
It's something...
Rise like a phoenix.
Yeah, something to look forward to later on.
Can't wait.
Well, now, Hans, that's how Frank got started in comedy. How did you get started in composing?
Because I can't do anything else. I mean, you know, I used to put some fictitious date onto it. When I was 6, I started playing music. No, I started making noise as far back as I remember. And look, the operative word in music is play. And the advantage is you never, ever have to really grow up. And so I'm still doing what I did as a kid. And it just so happens that I like telling stories.
So we've got... Let's have a listen, because I think this is your breakthrough piece of music in terms of Hollywood. From,
OK, this is Not Going for Gold Part 2.
Not Going for Gold Part 2.
Much to my
disappointment. Oh, this is an epic.
Yes.
This is an epic. This is Gladiator.
My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius, commander of the armies of the North, general of the Felix Legions, loyal servant to the true emperor, Marcus Aurelius, father to a murdered son, husband to a murdered wife, and I will have my vengeance.
Oh, I mean, that is such a memorable piece of cinema. You know, the rousing music just adds to the speech. But what comes first, then, when you're composing? Is it the pictures or is it the music?
Depends on what it is. I mean...
With that one?
Well, with this one, Ridley phoning me at 9 o'clock in the morning because he knows I'm vulnerable. I don't get up much before noon. I'm a musician, right? And he's going, do you want to do a Gladiator movie? And I just started laughing because I was thinking, men in skirts, right?
Yeah.
And he said, and there was just a tone in his voice, he said, no, it's not that sort of a Gladiator movie. And he started telling me the story. And that's the great luxury of my life. You know, somebody phones you up and they tell me a story. And as they tell me the story, I start hearing sounds. And bit, you know, we sit down, we look at paintings, we look, you know, especially with somebody like Ridley Scott, who's an amazing artist. So you know, it's like more napkins get, you know, drawn on, etc. And he literally draws out every scene for you. And then once he was shooting, I was sort of writing themes, etc., and sending it over to him. I don't know if you remember, there's a scene like with tigers in it. That was supposed to take 1 day to film. It took 2 weeks because the tigers were forever going to sleep. So, you know, so I only kept, you know, so I was like the entertainment, sending more music, etc., doing more music. And then finally, he actually moved into my studio with the editors, and we just sort of, you know, made it up.
Collaborated.
Yeah, collaborated, made it up.
Yeah.
And the Lisa Gerrard thing, I mean, because, okay, the second part of him phoning me at 9 o'clock in the morning, you know, I get off the phone and my wife says, oh, what did you and Rid talk about? And I said, we're doing a Gladiator movie. And she goes, oh, you boys. And I suddenly thought, my ambition on this movie is going to be that women love this movie, that it's not just an action movie. And so we talked about this a lot. And Ridley came up with the idea of Lisa. So I had her number and I phoned her in Australia and I said, do you want to do this movie? Yeah. And she goes, yeah, sounds interesting. Who's in it? And I said, Russell Crowe. And she goes, oh, no, I can't do that. And I said, Rid, she turned us down. To cut a long story short, then, you know, we persuaded her.
Yeah.
And months later, I said, why did you turn us down? And she'd done that movie, The Insider, which we hadn't seen yet. She goes, I just felt sorry for Russell that every time he's on the screen, Lisa Gerrard sings. You know, she's such a sweetheart.
Well,
and
Hans,
such a talent.
you're about to do something. You've done hundreds and hundreds of films, but you're about to do something you've never done before. You're going on tour. So how much of a challenge is it, taking orchestra on tour and recreating those epic bits of music?
It's absolute madness. Why haven't I done it before? Because I got really bad stage fright. Secondly, it's sort of impossible, but I think I figured it out.
Yeah.
You know, I did a couple of sort of test runs a couple of years ago at Hammersmith Apollo. And so I got this really tight, cool band, which they're all mates of mine. I mean, some of the people I started working with 30 years ago, Mike Einziger, Johnny Marr, you know, and
it's going to be.
I mean,
it's going to be epic. It really is.
We're going to come and see you, Hans.
Yes.
So no stage fright that night.
Okay, all right.
Hans is going to be playing one of his famous pieces as well from the film Inception in a few minutes' time, and you can see him and his full orchestra on tour from the 6th of April.
Now, Dan Donnelly has been investigating how criminals have been duping innocent workers into handing over their employers' cash.
It's a bold scam, and it's hitting British companies hard.